When anyone enters the building, they are required to fill out a RIVNA health form to ensure that they are entering the building safely. These forms are actually made by our very own Mrs. Feldman. At Mayanot, we pride ourselves on very efficient arrival and dismissal procedures. Mrs. Feldman is the one who takes care of these. You may have noticed that occasionally our parking lots tend to turn into a lake. But have you ever wondered who promptly turns it back into a parking lot? Mrs. Feldman? Mrs. Feldman. This hallway here is a brand new addition to our facilities, and you'll never believe who put it up. Mrs. Feldman! You might recall when these desks were much closer than 6 feet, but then somebody came along and measured it to make sure that everything was properly socially distanced for the new school year.
Oh wow, that's so cool!
Mrs. Feldman! Here we have the gym where students can enjoy a snack break and a mask break while maintaining proper social distancing. Do you know who made all of this possible, including other COVID guidelines? Mrs. Feldman. The thermostats, the textbooks, the locker assignments, these emails, lockdowns and drills? Mrs. Feldman, Mrs. Feldman, Mrs. Feldman, Mrs. Feldman, Mrs. Feldman. She even arranges late buses for out-of-towners. Who does? Are you kidding? Yeah. Mrs. Feldman!
Mrs. Feldman. There's just so much to say. If I had to think of words to describe Mrs. Feldman, I would say that she's super talented, creative, and a real magician.
One of the most dedicated people I have ever seen to a school institution.
An incredibly kind and insightful person.
Really supportive and always wants to do the best for everyone and make everything the best for all of our students.
I would say the word underrated really applies. She is really underrated. She is everything behind the school.
She keeps this school running. We literally would not be able to function without her.
Mrs. Feldman has a way of looking at a situation and seeing exactly how it needs to be organized.
She is able to make the impossible happen.
Whenever there is a challenge or an issue and I reach out to her, her response always is, what can we do? How are we gonna figure this out? Things that I think are impossible, she knows the solution to, whether it be heartbeats or with COVID.
As abnormal as this year is, the normalcy of what makes Mayanot, the fun programming, the meaningful relationships between teachers and students, the students feeling like this is their home, that has not been lost this year, and that is really, really thanks to Mrs. Feldman and her efforts.
Not just this year during COVID, but every year, all the time, she just dedicates 100% to everything that she does.
Once was asking Mrs. Feldman on the first day of school, not this year and year of COVID, how many hours she had slept the night before, and the answer was 0.
I think about just all the moments that she has to be on call, whether it's for the buses or whether it's for a snow day or whether it's for the open house.
Graduations and dinners and
not to mention all the things she does in the physical building, employment, health insurance.
She's extremely busy. Every time I walk into the building, she's in the building.
She is constantly trying to improve any situation for teachers, for faculty, and for students.
She's dealing with all of the worries of so many people, and I sometimes feel like she just holds the building up. It's such a joy to be able to work together with somebody that's also such a good friend.
She's a great person to just talk to.
She is a real friend. She is able to support us when we come to her.
It is such an honor and a privilege to call her my friend and my colleague.
It's just incredible to see how much love and effort she puts into everything that she does.
Congratulations, Mrs. Feldman. This is really long overdue.
Thank you so much for everything that you do.
You have made this year one to remember for good reasons and not only for the challenges that we've had.
To be honest, you deserve to be honored every single day.
From the first day that I walked into this building, Rachel's enthusiasm and energy has been echoing in my mind, and sometimes even through the walls of my office. The depth of her caring for Mayanot is evidenced by the unending stream of ideas, innovations, and possibilities. While tonight we are focused on the great feat of reopening campus, in truth, that is just the last in a string of remarkable feats over 12 years of service that Rachel has brought to Mayanot. She approaches every challenge with an indefatigable energy and more solutions than required, each reflecting hours of incisive considerations. For this reason and more, we're honored to present to you, Rachel, our La'ela Ula'ela Award for Professional Leadership, an award that speaks to the spirit of going above and beyond in your commitment and in your efforts to make this year and every year a success at Mayanot. Thank you for bringing both heart and mind with boundless energy to Mayanot every day. You have shown us all what dedication looks like, even under the most trying times.